And we're back to learning Premiere Pro, and this time I'm going to show you a neon flicker text effect. Got a simple background, it's just an image, you will find that via description link below. And now I use the type tool, click on the preview window and you can type in some text. Let me size that up a little bit. And this element is now on video channel 2. If you can't find your effect controls menu, go to window and effect controls. There's our text. Let me open the drop down. I use the Homer as a font, but you can use any font that you want. Let me click on the fill and pick a different color. Alright, now hold Alt in your timeline and create 2 copies of your text element. Just drag them on video channel 3 and 4, so we've got 3 times the same text element. Now we need the effects menu and type in camera blur for your second text element, so the video channel 3, drag and drop it. And we also need the Gaussian blur for the one on top on video channel 4. Let's get back to video channel 3 where we've got the camera blur. Let me close the text element and there's the camera blur. I'll increase it, and at the same time I want to go down with the opacity right here at the bottom. So we're going to play around with these 2 values, the percent blur for the camera blur and the opacity. Just find something that you like. In this case I'm going to go very high for the percent blur. Now the Gaussian blur for video channel 4. Increase the blurriness. In this case you want to go very high. Or once again find something that you like. Now let's get back to our original text element, which is on video channel 2. And I click on the fill, and this time I make it a little bit brighter. So just drag it a little bit to the left. Or maybe a little bit more. It makes sense to afterwards readjust the camera blur and the Gaussian blur. You can also once again play around with the opacity. Now let us create this flicker effect. And we can achieve that by simply leaving gaps in the video channel 4 and 3. We can also just pick one of them. I'm just going to create gaps for both. So just pick the cut tool, press C for that, and then create your cuts in these text elements, and then go with the arrow keys 1 step to the right, so 1 frame, and create another cut. And now we only have to delete the gaps. And we can select it all, hold Alt and drag copies to the right, depending on how many flicker effects we want to have. At the end position you want to make these elements longer, so that they fit the entire length of this text file. But you always want to use just 1 frame. If you make it longer, the effect becomes too obvious. But that's basically it, and I think that's enough to show the effect. Let me run it. As I've said, you don't have to cut both of these video channels. It's enough to only cut the one that has the Gaussian blur or the camera blur. It's up to you. And this is how you can create this neon text flicker effect in Premiere Pro. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.